What's up, everybody, and welcome to the TNR Sports Show. The TNR Sports Show. This is the greatest sporting podcast out there right now. That's a fact. Many people don't want to acknowledge it, but here I am acknowledging it.
It's fact, Jack.
And I wanted to point out to everybody, thank you for liking, subscribing, following. We've had a lot of success recently. After one of the best weekends of my professional football watching career, last weekend was one of the best football weekends I've ever had. The Arkansas Razorbacks took down the Texas A&M. Texas. I'm thinking ahead. Texas Longhorns. Clemson won. The Pittsburgh Steelers upset Buffalo. So overall, it was a very successful week for me. And I just want to thank everybody for being along for the ride. We're going to keep going. This train is going to keep rolling. We're having fun. We're living life, and we're loving life. So that's the way it's going to be. Ryan, how are you doing?
I'm good. I mean, Oklahoma won, Clemson won, and last week was pretty good. Oklahoma won convincingly. Clemson looked better, but I'm definitely excited for this upcoming week of college football.
I am as well. I think it's going to be very good. I'm looking forward to this week. I think this week will be good. I'm kind of scared, and I'll get into why I'm scared. But I think overall, we're going to see a lot of good football. I am wearing my Carolina Gamecock jersey today for everybody wondering, as most of Ryan, and Ryan, our teams don't really have too much of a big game this week. Ryan kind of does, but not really. He'll say he does, but not really. And so I'm wearing my Carolina jersey in support of the Gamecocks of South Carolina as they face the greatest foe they're going to face all season. And they're probably going to get murdered, but I'm supporting them nonetheless. So, woo! Spurs up, baby. All right. Let's get into it, Ryan, shall we?
Let's get into it, man.
All right. Do we have to talk about this?
Yeah.
Oklahoma versus Nebraska. The line is 22. Oklahoma was favored by 22 points. The over-under is 61.5. I think Oklahoma can put up all 61.5 points by themselves. Ryan, do you agree?
I agree. This game is supposed to be in honor of the game of the century, 50th anniversary of the game of the century. Obviously, Nebraska has fallen off a lot since that game, and Oklahoma has also fallen off, but they're still a very good program. I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be a fun game. Unfortunately, it's at noon, which kind of stinks, but I think it'll be good. I think Oklahoma wins 52-17.
We have both talked about Oklahoma pretty heavily on this podcast, and we've talked about Nebraska pretty heavily in week 1. We haven't talked about them again, and that's just the way it is. They're not good, so we're not going to talk about them. So but that's life. What are you gonna do? I wanted to mention that I think Nebraska could stand a chance to cover the spread. I actually don't think that. I think Oklahoma's offense is too talented. Spencer Rattler, I think he looked better. I think Tulane, we'll find out a lot this weekend. Ole Miss plays Tulane. I'm not saying Tulane's going to beat them, but I think Tulane's a better football team than people are giving them credit for. And I think Oklahoma had 2 issues. It was week 1, and they probably thought they're going to cakewalk them. They were a little cocky in their minds. They're overlooking them. But not overlooking them for whoever they played last weekend. But they didn't really think, we can come out here half-ass it and we'll be all right. And they showed them they could not.
I think it's a fair assessment to say that Tulane was Oklahoma's best non-conference opponent. It's kind of sad to say, but
I think Arkansas. I think Tulane is going to give Ole Miss a challenge this week. I really do believe that. I don't know if they're going to win. I doubt it, but we'll see what happens. I'm going with Oklahoma as well. I don't have a score prediction, but I do think Nebraska has the potential to keep it closer than the experts think. The potential. I don't think they will, because they lost to an Illinois team that is terrible. But we'll see what happens. All right. Cincinnati versus Indiana. Line is -3.5. Cincy over under 50. So the money in the betting markets, I know we're not a gambling show, and I don't gamble. It's illegal in South Carolina to gamble on sports. But if I was a gambling man, I do see the money flowing toward Indiana. A lot of people think Indiana is going to win this game. Ryan, do you agree with those people?
I agree. I think Cincinnati should be on upset alert. Last week, Cincinnati did not impress me. They played Murray State, and it was tied 7-7.5, which I think, again, kind of similar to Texas A&M for a top 10 team. That's unacceptable. Even it's almost worse than Texas A&M because Murray State is an FCS program.
Right.
Obviously Cincinnati distanced themselves in the second half. They went on to win 42-7. Good on them. However, that 7-7.5 stuck with me. And I know Indiana just got pounded by Iowa recently, a couple weeks ago. However, I do know that Indiana is a somewhat talented, well-coached team that I think can, and my prediction being that Indiana will win 24-17 over Cincinnati.
Yeah, I think wait, over Cincinnati. You think Cincinnati's going to lose?
I think Cincinnati's going to lose. I think Indiana wins.
No way. I think Cincinnati's going to wax them. The fact that everybody thinks Indiana's going to win makes me even think Cincinnati's going to win by blowout. I'm going with the Cincinnati. I'm going with Luke Fickell, the new head coach of USC. I'm announcing it now. I'm just kidding about that. That's a joke. But could be. Maybe one day. But not right now. I think Cincinnati. Boom.
All right.
Beats Indiana.
Cool.
As the best Power 5 team.
The
fact that everybody's thinking in their mind that Indiana is going to upset Cincinnati makes me think that Cincinnati is going to actually beat Indiana. Boom. Sports. All right, there you go. Coastal Carolina versus Buffalo. Ryan threw this in so I could go on a rant about how Coastal Carolina is the second best team in South Carolina. I'll let you decide who the number one team is. I will not say I am wearing a Carolina jersey. I am wearing a Carolina jersey. I don't know who the second best team, the first best team in South Carolina is. But I do know who the second best team in South Carolina is. It's the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers. Ryan?
We all know who the number one team in South Carolina is. However, Coastal is the most likely the second best team. However, Buffalo's not a bad team. They're not bad.
Oh, stop.
They're not bad. I think Coastal's going to crush them.
Did you see that Nebraska game?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, come on. Coastal is favored by 13.5 points, which seems low. If I was a betting man, I would go with Coastal minus 13.5. The over-under is 57.5. So we're both leaning Coastal, right? We're both going with Coastal. Boom.
We're going Coastal.
All right, here's another kind of low-key big game. Not a big game, but a very coach hot seaty kind of game. I think Virginia Tech, I believe, is ranked 15th in the country now.
Something like that, yeah.
And 2 games ago, the guy, their head coach, oh my God, what is his name? What's the head coach of Virginia Tech's name?
Justin Fuente?
Yeah, Justin Fuente was on the hot seat, the hottest seat in the country. And now his team's ranked 15th in the country. I'm going with West Virginia here.
Really?
Yeah. Virginia Tech is favored by West Virginia. The unranked 1-1 opponent is -3. Yeah. They're favored in the football game.
It's crazy.
And the over-under is 50. What time is this game?
I think it's noon.
No, that's not enough time for the West Virginia crowd to get drunk and messed up. All right, anyway.
I look at this game. I think it's going to be a really good game, honestly. I'm excited to watch it, actually. However, I don't think Fuente's on the hot seat anymore after beating UNC. I think that was huge for him. And I feel good about Virginia Tech. I mean, I feel like they're, they look pretty decent. West Virginia also looked pretty decent, but I think it's going to be a really close game, and probably until the end.
Is this a rivalry?
No idea.
Doesn't it feel like it should be a rivalry, though?
I think it used to be a Big East rivalry back in the day, but when Virginia
so it's probably something that was maybe not so much recently. Kind of like Arkansas, Texas, in a way.
It's not recently, but I think
because I feel like West Virginia hates Pitt, and then Virginia Tech hates Virginia. But I feel like this is kind of a subset rivalry. So,
but I think
I'm going with West Virginia. So me and Ryan are not seeing eye to eye this week. Does that surprise you, Ryan?
I definitely picked a few kind of upsets going into this week. I just feel like there's some of these
Going
games
with
are
the
just too
favorite
close
here.
that I think you should go for the upset.
Is West Virginia the upset?
I mean, they're favored.
I don't know, but Virginia, I think you could look at them as both upsets.
Yeah,
Don't make any sense.
it's
Either
a
way, you
weird,
kind of wanted to look at it because you could say, "Oh my
weird
gosh,
thing.
West Virginia beat the 15th ranked team in the country. That's an upset." But then you could also say Virginia Tech wasn't favored. So strange. That's one
Virginia Tech.
strange game.
Virginia Tech reminds me of the 2011 Clemson Tigers. Honestly, they're just like this random team that comes out of nowhere and is just winning games.
They're probably going to get smacked by somebody later down the line.
West Virginia.
Probably Clemson. I don't know about that. I think West Virginia does anything. They're going to play good defense and run the ball. That's what they do. All right, moving on. Florida versus Alabama. This is a big game of the week. We got Bama's favored by 15.5 points, and the over-under is 58.5. Ryan, what do you think?
Man, I think Bama's gonna win this game.
Oh yeah,
I think it's gonna
really
be
stepping out on a limb there.
All right. I don't think it really matters who starts a quarterback for Florida. I don't think it just doesn't matter. Bama is just more talented. They probably will be for a very long time. I think Bama wins 41-27.
I am a delusional SEC fan. I am delusional. I will announce it now. I am delusional. I think Arkansas can go 10-2. And I think Alabama are frauds. They are frauds, and I'm still holding on to the hope that they're frauds. Miami doesn't look good. They do not look good. They do not look good. I am a fool. I'm not a fool. I want Alabama to be bad, and I'm going to will it to be bad. I'm going to will them to be bad. And they're probably not bad. They're probably going to spank Florida. But I do think Florida's going to keep it close. Closer than the experts thinks. Ryan is an expert. I think it's going to be closer than he thinks. Miami looks bad, you know. That's their only signature win. They played Mercer.
I mean, my scoreline's 41-27. Close.
Miami barely beat App State last week. They beat them by a field goal. Not good. If you're the 15th ranked, if you're the Miami Hurricanes, you need to be smacking App State. I don't care how good they are. You don't look good, Miami. So what does that mean about you, Alabama? We will see. We will see. I think this will be a true test for the Crimson Tide. But Alabama wins it, but close. Closer than the experts thinks. Ryan is an expert. All right. I am also an expert on the SEC.
Yes.
Notre Dame at Purdue. We kind of both agree here. Yeah. Notre Dame's favored by 7. That's unbelievable. The over-under is 58.5. Ryan, going with Purdue?
Going with Purdue. Notre Dame, I mean, they squeak out a win against the Florida State team.
Who looks terrible.
Looks terrible. Just lost to Jacksonville State.
It looks awful.
Awful. And then they go at home and play Toledo and probably should have lost that game, to be honest. They were losing with a minute to go. And Notre Dame had a really good drive. Purdue is better than both those teams, I think.
Right.
Purdue is not a great team by any stretch of the imagination. I think they're a decent to good team. And by good, I mean like 8-4. I think Purdue wins. I think it's a close game, but Purdue wins 17-14.
Yeah, Purdue's frauds. Florida State, they stink. They're awful. Maybe one of the worst teams in the ACC. I don't know how they lost to old. I need to go back and watch that film. I never really was too interested. But did they play Mackenzie Milton or did they play that other guy?
Milton played a little bit. He had like 160 yards, touchdown and a pick. The other guy played as well, so they were like both playing.
They're starting Mackenzie Milton against whoever they're playing this week. I don't remember. But I don't know. It's weird. They shouldn't have lost to that team. Bad coaching by Mike Norvell. I know I bashed him the other day, but he's terrible. Thank God Arkansas didn't hire him. Oh, people made fun of Sam Pittman, but thank God we hired Sam Pittman. he's just Mike Norvell's just the worst. He won at Memphis with Justin Fuente's players. I don't think Justin Fuente's a bad coach. I think Mike Norvell was just able to hold the ship steady enough.
Yeah.
They wouldn't the ship wouldn't fall in. All right. Moving on. Oh my God. This is the most notes we have on an entire game. And this team is going to get destroyed by the other team. Clemson versus Georgia Tech. Clemson's favored by 28.5 points. The over-under is 51. And we have a paragraph of notes. Nothing here matters, folks. Clemson is going to smack Georgia Tech. Ryan, please go on your Clemson rant. I'm ready to roll with the Clemson.
All right.
I am a Carolina fan.
You're a Clemson fan.
I think Clemson and South Carolina could be the first and third best teams in South Carolina. In what order? You decide. The nation, the fans. But that's just my opinion.
I think Trent's right. I think Clemson's going to blow out Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech's not a good team. However,
all right, here we go, folks.
The reason
get your alcohol ready, get your cigarettes. If you're a religious person, get your prayers. I mean, this is rough. This is going to be rough.
I just wanted to put this in. I won't go in all the notes I put in there.
No, you can. I'm excited. I want to hear.
But a lot of people have been saying that Clemson's offense is decaying. They need to change. They need to fire Coach Elliott. They need to make all these stupid changes. But I think this is getting kind of ridiculous. Clemson always has small or slow starts. They'll need to fire Coach Elliott. I think he's a good coach. He clearly has put on some great offensive performances. Going back to 2016, which is the year Clemson won the national championship with Deshaun Watson, Clemson scored 19 points in Auburn and only 30 on Troy in a 6-point game. And they went on to win a national championship with Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson should have won a Heisman Trophy. 2017, I mean, the entire year was slow. That was Kelly Bryant's fault, really. I was just back out. It was a slow year. In 2018, you start the year, you score 48 on Furman. Furman's a crap school. Then you only score 28 on Texas A&M. It's a slow start as well. And you have Trevor Lawrence. It was his first season with Clemson. He had a slow start. I remember people were questioning him when he first started with Clemson. They were saying, maybe we should have stuck with Kelly Bryant. I think he's our best shot to win. He went undefeated, 15-0, won a national championship. And we would have lost to Texas A&M. And at one point during the 2018 season, Clemson scored only 38 points on Georgia Southern. It's not great. But they won that championship. I think the moral of the story, I can keep going through years and years of stuff. I put more examples up here for 2019 and 2020, the slow starts that Clemson had, and then they come in and just blow up offensively. I think DJ is taking some time to acclimate. And one of the quotes that Coach Elliott brought forward in his press interviews over the weekend was, and this is the quote, he said, in fairness to DJ, sometimes he gets compared to the guy that was here for several years, Trevor, and gets compared to him at the end of his career. That's tough on a young guy. DJ is made of the right stuff, and his ceiling is extremely high. They have to take steps to get to your ceiling and be able to play consistently towards the top of your potential. I think that Clemson clearly hasn't given up on him. He's a very talented guy. He's got some steps to take, and I think Clemson's offense is going to improve. I think we're going to see it gradually. Luckily, we play some crappy teams like last week, and now we get Georgia Tech and NC State. So I just wanted to put that out there. If you are a Clemson fan, do not panic. It'll be fine.
Here's my response, my rebuttal to Ryan. First of all, we have gotten to the point, and this is not me joking around. I'll try to be as serious as I can be, Carolina. But here's me being as serious as I can be about football and what I think I understand of it. Clemson fans, and we're gotten to the point now. Clemson fans have been so spoiled, and they really have been. They've been spoiled rotten. Anyone who thinks that is a big, anyone who disagrees with that is a big dummy. They have been spoiled. I mean, Trevor Lawrence was a one-in-time quarterback. Deshaun Watson. How do you do that? How do you go from Deshaun Watson to Trevor Lawrence. Anybody criticizing DJ couldn't do what he has to do. He has to follow up some of the greatest quarterback talent the NFL has seen in years. I mean, there's some good quarterbacks in the NFL. Deshaun Watson and Trevor Lawrence are going to be very good. And I know Deshaun, whatever, but they're both talent-wise very good. Clemson fans have been so spoiled rotten with what they've had over the past years that they'll find they've gotten to the point, and I hate to say this, it breaks my little heart. It really does. It really does. They've gotten to the point where they sound like Ohio State, Alabama fans complaining about everything that don't need to be complained about. They sound like Ohio State fans. That's what they really sound like. Alabama fans, they know they're going to whoop your ass. But they sound like Ohio State fans. They complain and they moan and they cry, and they just need to shut up because you got a good team. Your team's probably better than everybody else's. If you put Clemson on the field against Oregon or Iowa, Clemson would probably smack both of them. I probably wouldn't smack them, but it'd be close. But Clemson would win. They're better. Clemson's a better team than them, offensively and defensively.
It's true.
Far better defensively than Ohio State was. That just allowed Oregon to run all over them.
I agree with you 100%.
And then Clemson's going to be there at the end. I mean, they're probably not going to lose in the end. The ACC looks terrible. I mean, the two teams that we thought could knock Clemson off, Boston College lost their starting quarterback who had a very good game to a torn ACL against Clemson last year, to a torn ACL. He's done for the season. And then NC State, the other team that I said that could threaten Clemson, is terrible. They lost on the road to Mississippi State. And then you could say, oh my God, UNC. Oh my God. UNC lost a bunch of people. Sam Howell looks desperate out there alone. Miami looks terrible. Virginia Tech, frauds. Virginia looks very scary, I guess. But other than that, no one's going to threaten Clemson. No one. No.
Yeah.
They're not going to be threatened. They're going to be there at the end. Whether they get in or not, who knows? We'll have to wait and see. If Clemson does lose one of those teams, it's because of their own failures. It's not because no one was better. Because Clemson is by and far way better than everybody else. And it's not close. I bet you, if you ask those people in the ACC, we'll give you one piece of Clemson's starting 11 on offense. Any of them, even the offensive line, almost any of them in the ACC, probably 90% would take any player, our worst offensive lineman, the number one people that Clemson players complain about, they would take them because Clemson's just way better.
Yep.
They would. I mean,
you're right.
I'm just saying, Clemson fans, they almost said a bad word there. Credit to me. Integrity. Clemson fans moan and they cry. I'm a Clemson fan, but I am a Clemson fan. I do like the guy, everybody buys sneakers. That's what I believe. But yeah, I'm serious. Like, I feel like, Clemson fans, they cry and they moan and they just need to shut up and embrace this moment, because even as bad as you think we are, we're probably still way better than everybody else. So that's my thoughts on Clemson.
I appreciate.
They don't know what it's like to be. They don't know what it's like to actually be bad. I mean, these Clemson fans haven't been bad since 14. As an Arkansas fan, I have a lot of memories of what it's like to be a bad team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know what it's like to be bad. I know what it's like.
Clemson hasn't lost more than 10 games since 2010.
Arkansas loses 10 games on the reg. They lost it. I think they almost lost in one season.
Exactly.
We went 3. I think we lost 2-10. We went 2-10 for 2 years.
I remember that.
2019 and 2018.
Yeah,
we knew what it's like to be bad. We lost 2 games in 2 years. We did what you did in 10 years. You need to stop being a bunch of little babies. That's what I think about Clemson fans. You got a great coach.
Well, unfortunately, but
I don't think it's unfortunate. I think it's good for Clemson. It's got us in a good position. I mean, you give people great things, and they don't have to face any adversity. They haven't really faced adversity. I mean, Georgia, oh my gosh. You lost to a great Georgia team, probably the best Georgia team we've ever seen before.
Close.
Yeah, you lost by a freak incident that if it would have happened to you, you would be where they would be and they'd be where you would be. One play in that game decided the whole thing. So, I don't know. This is my opinion.
Ranked over. Who do you think is going to win that game?
Oh, Clemson's going to win. That's why I said I don't even know why we just spent 10 minutes on Clemson versus Georgia
I'm
Tech.
just saying, we got to get our rants out. You
All
clearly
right.
need the rant
I'm
too.
moving on. I'm moving on from this
You need the
disaster.
rant as well.
Well, yeah, I have a rant because everybody's a baby. Arkansas versus Georgia Southern. Let me tell you something. Clemson fans, you should be Arkansas fans. You should know what it's like to struggle. Arkansas is favored by 23.5 points. The over-under is 52.5. Wow, Ryan, that's a generous score.
Yeah, I think Arkansas is going to win 52-13.
I think Arkansas is going to win. I think this is a different Arkansas team than we've seen in the past. Chad Moore's team would lose to this team. That's a fact. But I don't think this Sam Pittman will. Sam Pittman, I watched his press conference today, and he did say the team has had bad practices this week. And Sam Pittman had this weird strategy. He was like, hey, what I did was I pull them all in a room and I made them watch film of people who had week 1 wins, big wins in week 1, and then went and lost in week 2. And then he showed him, I think he showed him Illinois too, from week 0, but still. I was like, what he should do, if I was the coach of Arkansas, what I would do is I would get every Arkansas coach and football player and I'd make them sit down in there and I would show them losing to Colorado State. I would show them losing to Western Kentucky. I would show them the same players that are on these teams now lost to these teams. I would show them losing to Colorado State. Did I already say that?
Yep.
San Jose State. That's what I meant. I would show them losing to Louisiana Monroe. I would show them losing to some other team. North Texas. Oh my God, I forgot we lost it. And that's terrible. I would show them that and remind them that it wasn't too long ago that they got their butts kicked. Integrity. They got their butts kicked by teams who are much more inferior than them, or should be. They probably weren't. They were probably better than us, far better. I would show them that film and remind them, you beat Texas. Congratulations. It means nothing. You sucked. Not even 2 years ago, you went 2-9. Last year, we went 3-7. You stink. That's what I would do. But I'm not the coach, so Arkansas better win this week. Ooh, they better win. I don't care if they don't lose. They lose to Texas A&M. I don't care about that. Ooh, they better beat Georgia Southern. Georgia Southern runs the option. The option. All right.
I think it was fine. I think 52-13 is a reasonable score.
Sam Pittman did say that he was talking to, Arkansas hasn't led. It was weird. It was a weird stat. I don't think Arkansas has led up. I'll try to find it real fast. But they haven't let in the first quarter or the first half of games. They haven't let more than 10 rushing yards between Rice and Texas. It was something weird. They're like defensively rushing the ball. We've been very good. Defending against the run. So for a team that runs the ball a lot, one of the things that Sam Pittman did say about the bad practice, he said it's hard imitating a scout team offense. So he said that's one of the most difficult things you can do. And he's having a hard time because they don't run the scout. They don't run that kind of offense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's hard for them to practice against them. The scout team didn't want to do it, or they were bored or something like that. Right. So I don't know. But I'm telling you what I know is they better, oh my God. If they don't, my reaction on Monday, I'm going to explode. I'm going to say that Texas win meant nothing, which it does mean nothing now. It's irrelevant. So they need to get, all they want to talk about all week is Texas, 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 Texas. It's over. We beat them. It's done. I get it. Great moment. I had a lot of fun on Saturday night. And I was stuck in my trailer and sat in South Carolina. I had a lot of fun. I loved it. It was a great moment. You better find a way to beat Georgia Southern. Texas is gone. Ain't nobody going to give a damn about Texas when you're playing Texas A&M or Georgia Southern or Alabama or Georgia. Ain't nobody going to care about that then. They ain't going to say, oh my God, Arkansas beat Texas. Who cares? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter anymore. You beat them, move on. It's over. All right, any thoughts on Georgia Southern versus Arkansas?
I think Arkansas is going to win.
Does that rant make any sense?
It does make. I hear what you're saying. I understand.
They are prime letdown position this week.
I completely understand where you're coming from, and
I don't think it'll happen against Georgia Southern because of the fact that they run that option. And I don't think this is Arkansas team. Like I said, I don't think this is the Arkansas teams of old. But don't piss me off. All right, moving on. Where's my team at? Why is my team not in here? Oh, there it is right there. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Georgia versus South Carolina. A man of integrity. I'm a man of honor. I am going to talk heavily about this game. Ryan, I'm going to read the stats, tell the people what I know, and we can go from there. All right. Georgia's favored by 31 points. So man of honor. Man of honor. I don't mean to laugh. Man of honor. Georgia's favored by 31 points. Oh my God. The over-under is only 48 points. That's a slap in the face. All right. Here's the facts. Georgia's very good.
Very good.
I don't know. So the rumor mill is circulating. Both teams' quarterbacks are just out of function. We were told today, we record on Wednesday. When this podcast releases, it'll be Friday, but we do record on Wednesday. So I am limited on the knowledge that I have. I am going off of what I hear today. Yesterday, on Tuesday, it was announced that it seemed that Luke Doty was healthy for this game. Shane Beamer said in his press conference that he believed Luke Doty was healthy for the game. And then I watched today's press conference, and it seems to me that Shane Beamer is undecided on who's he's going to start at quarterback. You can take that whatever way you want. I don't know. I think there could be a multiple situation. He says, Shane Beamer, if I watched his press conference and heard what I heard correctly, he seems to think that there are multiple routes you can take with this game. And that he thinks competition for his quarterbacks is the best. And he's unsure of which one he's going to start. Let me tell you something. If you start Zeb Nolan, I guess Clemson only scored 3 points against them as well. So if you start Zeb Nolan over Luke Doty, I guess you probably won't score at all either way. Does it matter, though? That's why now I'm changing the way. Does it matter? Because Georgia's going to stop you either way. Who cares?
Yeah, I think the more pressing injury is to Kevin Harris.
They ain't going to be able to run the ball anyway.
At
least maybe they'll try. Clemson didn't even try. Idiots.
Right.
Fire Tony Elliott. I'm on that train now. I'm totally against what Ryan said. What a dummy. I'm just kidding.
I think the 31 points in favor of Georgia is a little high. And the reason I say that, I do not think
Ryan is a man of honor.
I don't think Carolina's going to score any points. I think they might get a field goal. They might get a touchdown. That's about it. You don't have Kevin Harris. He's probably your best player on offense. If Luke Doty goes out, he's probably not 100%.
What's he going to do?
Exactly.
I might start Zeb Nolan.
He's clearly not talented enough. I do think South Carolina's defensive line is one of the best in the country. I think that's one of the reasons they won against East Carolina and had such a dominant shutout performance against Eastern Illinois. I think their secondary is suspect, so they're going to make whoever plays quarterback Stetson Bennett or J.T. Daniels throw. Obviously, Stetson Bennett had a fantastic game throwing the ball last week against UAB. I think Carolina's better than UAB, obviously. I think it's tough. It's really tough. When I originally came into this week, I thought, Georgia's gonna crush them. We're just gonna slaughter them. And then I started thinking about the defensive line. I was like, I think South Carolina could really limit the run game for Georgia, and we'll see. Maybe this. I think it could be a lot closer than the experts predict. I did have a scoreline, but I'm not going to say it because I don't believe it anymore. So, anyways, what do you think?
The experts closer than the experts predict.
Damn it.
No way. I am a man of honor, but I'm going to be honest with you, South Carolina guys. You're going to get smacked this week. A lot of people are talking about how Georgia did lose to South Carolina in Athens 2 years ago in 2019. Very impressive. Good job, South Carolina. This is not. Your team is much worse than it was then. I don't know. I don't think this is going to be pretty. I think it's going to be a slaughter. I'm trying to look up and see who is the starting quarterback for
Georgia.
Georgia. I can't.
I don't think they've named him yet. Wait, because
Yeah, I
they
didn't really
haven't been
watch Kirby.
putting
I should have
out
watched Kirby Smart's press conference.
They haven't been putting out depth charts at all.
What?
Yeah, it's kind of annoying. So it sounds like they haven't announced it yet.
Yeah, I don't see anything on Twitter about it. I'm gonna try to look up Georgia starting quarterback. It doesn't really matter. Whoever they put in there is gonna whoop them. I'm sorry, South Carolina fans. Now is not then.
Oh wait, actually, let's look it up. Stetson Bennett joins JT Daniels on Georgia's injury list.
Oh my God! Then is now. Georgia is on upset alert. Do you agree, Ryan?
I mean,
maybe they just run the ball.
I think
if you're a gambler, South Carolina plus 31 is the way to go.
Yeah, both
man of honor. Man of honor.
Both those quarterbacks are hurt. They have talent behind them. Carson Beck and Brock Vandegrift.
Man of honor. I am so excited right now.
I think
I'm back on the Carolina train, baby.
Georgia is winning. I'm sorry. Georgia's
they're going to win. Yeah, but I don't care about that.
It's going to be close.
Yes, exactly. Georgia, South Carolina plus 31. Book it. Take it to the bank. It's over. It is donezo. Boom.
It's not going to be close.
You're welcome, Carolina fans. Hey, great team. Good teams win. Great teams cover. That's why Arkansas is ranked number 1 in Big Cat is rankings right now. Because Arkansas covers and they win. Number 1 team in the country. Boom. All right, I'm going with Georgia. But South Carolina to cover. Penn State versus Auburn. This is College Game Day. I am praying that Penn State wins.
Me too.
Oh, I hate Auburn. Oh, I hate Auburn. Penn State's favored by 6. The over-under is 53. They're expecting a low-scoring game here. Auburn has played absolutely nobody, and I haven't given a crap to watch any of their games because they play nobody. How do you know? How do you know? Put friggin' what's-his-face, that disaster of a quarterback Auburn has. What's his name?
Bo Nix.
Yeah, he's terrible. Throw him in the SEC against these real defenses, like against real men.
Well, and then
we'll see where he's at. But I think Penn State's going to win this football game. Do you agree with me?
I agree. I think Penn State's going to win 31-16 in Happy Valley.
All right, there you go. It's a whiteout game, and it's a night. It's over. God, it's going to be a slaughter. UNC versus Virginia. Line is 9 by UNC. The over-under 64.5. Ryan, what do you think about this game? Is it a trap game for UNC? Because I think it is.
I think they've already had their trap game, to be honest. I think they're just trying to kill everybody right now. I think UNC wins at 38-20. I don't have a lot of faith.
I think UNC wins it. And my mind says UNC wins it. Virginia close. UNC is going to win it. Virginia's going to make it very close. Could come down to field goal. Virginia could win. All right. Tulane versus Ole Miss. The Sharks, or whatever they are. A bunch of idiots. Man of honor. Good people down in Ole Miss. Can't tailgate in their area, though. Can't drink, can't smoke. Like food. Not like, I'm sure you can't smoke cigarettes either, but still. What a loser place, Ole Miss. Great fans, though.
Okay, anywho. You want to go through the line and over under?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Ole Miss is favored by 14 and the over under 7. Oh, my God. The over under 74? That's high. You got to be sweating that bad boy out. I think both of those teams can score some points now. They both
I'm taking the over.
Ryan's pick of the day. Ding, 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 ding.
Taking the over. I do think Ole Miss is going to win. I think they're a better team than Tulane. I think Tulane may be a little better than we gave them credit for when they came close to beating Oklahoma. I think Oklahoma should have done better. Don't get me wrong. However, I think it's 45-42 Ole Miss.
I would love for Tulane to win this game. Oh, I'd love it. That would be better than Arkansas being Texas.
I would love it too. This would be great for Oklahoma's strength schedule.
It'd be bad if Oklahoma, Ole Miss blows them out now. The Rebels, whatever you want to call them.
Ribs.
The Ribs. Are they the Rebels still?
They're still the Rebels.
But they're not the Reb, like Colonel Reb isn't the mascot.
Yeah, it's the land shark, the mascot.
Oh my gosh. I hate I strongly dislike Ole Miss. What a loser school. I'm not sure who more I dislike, LSU or Ole Miss. Both of those teams grind my gears. I used to hate South Carolina the most. I'll be honest with y'all. I used to hate South Carolina. Ooh, I used to hate them. That's when they played Arkansas every year. And then for a couple of years, they beat Arkansas because we were bad. We don't play them anymore. And to be honest with you, Clemson's been so dominant. I don't know. I don't hate them like I used to. I dislike Ole Miss and LSU very strongly. And I would do nothing. I would bring me no more joy than to see Lane Kiffin go back to USC and Ed Orgeron be fired. Nothing would bring me more joy. I don't even think Arkansas going to a bowl game would make me more happy. I like to see my enemies fail more than myself succeed. That's basically what I'm saying. I want to see my enemies fail and fail miserably. That's just what I think. I think Ole Miss is going to win, though. I want them to lose, though. I'm going with Tulane. I'm picking Tulane in the upset. Boom. I'm going to be wrong, but I'm going out on the line there. Oklahoma State versus Boise State. This is a fun one. I'm excited.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I'm excited for it. Boise State's actually favored in terms of the betting line by 4.5 points.
And the over-under is 58. Yeah, sorry, I need to read that. God. It's all right. I got distracted by Ole Miss and LSU.
Oklahoma State struggled last week. And they're ranked coming into this week. Boise State's not. They lost to UCF week 1. I just don't have a lot of faith in Oklahoma State right now. I just don't. They lost Chuba Howard, and I just don't feel it. So I'm going to say 17-10 Boise State.
I don't know anything about Oklahoma State. I couldn't tell you one thing. I know Mike Gundy is the coach. Boise State. The way they lost to UCF was so bad. Well, I hate UCF too because of old Gus Malzahn. What a loser that guy is. I don't know. This game's tough. It is in the blue turf. It's at night. I think you say defensive game. I'm going with Ryan. I agree with him. Okay. Oh, you're going with Boise State. I'm going with OK State 17-10. We don't agree on anything this week. Arizona.
We click on something.
Yeah, Arkansas and South Carolina. I'm Georgia.
Clemson.
Yeah. So the very obvious games we agree on.
We had our rants, though.
And Florida. We agree on Alabama beating Florida. I think it's going to be close, but
we agree on next 2 games as well.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Arizona State versus BYU. The line is 3.5. Arizona State. BYU and the over is 51.5. BYU did just beat Utah. So I think that gives Arizona, though, I think that works against BYU in a way, because I think that gives Arizona a heightened sense like we need to get like.
I think Utah was a little overrated. They brought in a ton of transfers that were just okay. They're pretty much backups at every other school. I think they were overrated. I think BYU is a good school. I think they deserve to be ranked. I'm wrong. But I also think Arizona State deserves to be ranked. And I think they will win this game 20-14. I'm watching this game. I will watch this game. It's going to be a good game.
I might watch this game too. Ryan will go be in the bed. I'll text him the next morning. Hey, did you watch Arizona State versus BYU? He'll be like, no, I went to bed at 11 o'clock. Game probably doesn't even come on to 11:30.
Hey, the games last Saturday were not entertaining at night.
Apparently they were, because BYU and Utah was a good game. I'm just saying. UCLA versus Fresno. Now, I'll say I'm watching this game. This is going to be a good football game. This is low-key one of the best football games of the whole night, because you're going to get an idea. There's 2 things that come out of this. 3. First of all, Fresno State played Oregon very close. If that happens again with UCLA, you're gonna know you're gonna get a what is the word? You're gonna get a radar on where UCLA and Oregon stack up with each other. Because if it's close between UCLA and Fresno State, you can look at saying they're kind of on the same sphere. Now, if UCLA goes in there and walks in there and like blows them out, might be a different story. But I think Jack Hayner, one of the better quarterbacks in college football, I think he deserves to get national attention. He won't because he's at Fresno State. But I do think Fresno State's a good program. I think it's going to be tough for UCLA, but I think UCLA is a good football team.
Yeah. I mean, don't get Fresno State wrong. They had the Carr brothers, and they get national recognition when they want a quarterback. However, I also agree with you. I think UCLA is going to be the team that wins.
Right.
I think it's going to be close though. I agree. I think it's going to be close. I think 35-28 UCLA.
Trying to get this hat right. There you go.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to go through the rest of the games, and I'm just going to go through these lines, and I'm just going to scroll down to what I think is interesting, and we'll go from there. All right, UCF versus Louisville. I'm going with UCF there. Ryan, who do you think?
Between who?
UCF and Louisville.
Ah, man. UCF.
Yeah, I think Louisville's
not.
bad.
Louisville's
Maryland versus Illinois.
Maryland.
I agree, Maryland. All right, let me look at some other stuff. Let me see. There might not be much else. Ryan might have got a Michigan State versus Miami.
I take Miami. I don't trust Michigan State.
The line is -6 on Miami. I think so, Miami too. That's gonna be weird for Michigan State going down there. Very hot Miami.
A lot of green.
Ugh. If you like green, it's a big green game. I agree. I hate Miami's colors. I hate green and orange together. It's not a good color combo. Yeah, I agree. Let's keep going. Boston College at Temple. Boston College favored by 15. No quarterback though.
No quarterback.
I
don't really care about Temple.
I think Temple's bad though, so I'm going with Boston College.
You know who went to Temple?
Ooh.
Never mind.
Oh, this game's nasty. You like nasty games? Uconn versus Army. Oh, God, I can imagine it was hell.
Army wins, blowout.
Oh, that's just terrible. I don't know who wins that game.
Army.
You think they're going to blow them out? Army is 2-0. Oh, my God, Army's 2-0. I thought they were 0-2. My bad. I think I was thinking of Navy. Yeah, okay. I think Army blows them out. Never mind. That's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Minnesota at Colorado. Colorado's favored by 3. I'm going with Colorado.
Who cares? Colorado, but who cares?
Hey, man, I'm just going through the games. Relax.
Who cares?
Oh, here you go. Nevada at Kansas State. Who do you think's favored in that game? It's Nevada.
Thanks.
By 2.
The Colin Kaepernicks.
I'm going with Nevada.
You go with the Kaepernicks?
I'm going with Kansas State. Tulsa at Ohio State.
Tell me it's a blowout. Poor Tulsa.
I knew you were a Tulsa guy, so that's why I threw that in there.
The Golden Hurricanes, for some reason.
Oh, Florida State versus Wake Forest.
Who's the worst team in the ACC?
Wake Forest is 2-0.
They are?
And they're favored by 5.
I believe it. 2-0.
I'm going with Wake Forest.
Gracious.
It's at Wake Forest. It's at 3:30. It's the ACC game of the week.
That's the game of the week? That's disgusting.
I don't make the rules, man.
Are you serious?
No, I don't know, man. I think Virginia versus UNC is probably the game of the week. But who are you going with? Wake Forest?
I guess Wake Forest. Yeah, man.
All right, Baylor at Kansas.
Baylor.
Okay, Baylor. USC at Washington State.
That's an interesting game.
I think USC wins it, though.
I think USC's gotten so much chaos right now that I think Washington State could win. They're like 1-1 right now, aren't they?
Yeah.
I Washington State.
I'm going with USC. I think losing their coach is going to get them motivated to do something. Mississippi State at Memphis. Mississippi State is favored by 3 points.
Yeah, I'll take that. Yeah, Mississippi State.
I'm going with Memphis.
Yeah.
God, the trifecta. What was it be the trifecta of Auburn, Mississippi State, and Ole Miss all lose in one weekend? Oof, that would be better than beating 100 Texases. Northwestern versus Duke. Northwestern is
No.
favored by 3. I'm going with Northwestern.
Both
I think
suck.
Duke's bad.
Both. Northwestern sucks too, man. I'll go with Northwestern just because of Hunter Johnson, but
Yeah.
suck.
All right, we're gonna keep moving here. Arkansas State versus Washington Huskies.
How good is Arkansas State?
Washington State is favored by. Washington is favored by 10.5.
I can't still go with Washington just because they're a Power Five, but no, Arkansas State.
Does that even matter?
Montana.
I know that was a trick question for you. I wanted to see which route you go.
Yeah, we're on Arkansas State.
I'm gonna keep moving here. I'm gonna pick some other stuff. Utah at San Diego State Aztecs.
That could be a pretty good game.
Utah's favored by 9.
I go with Utah though.
I'll go with Utah too. Keep going. Virginia, we talked about that. Did we talk about Virginia versus North Carolina?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. I think Virginia's gonna win that game. I really do. Keep moving here. I've changed my mind. I'm going with Virginia. Utah, nah. That's boring. Still, oof. Good Lord. Stanford versus Vanderbilt.
Stanford, man, there's be USC.
Stanford is favored by 12.
Yeah. Vanderbilt sucks, man.
Ugh. Oh my. Now this is the game Arkansas fans are going to be closely watching, other than Arkansas versus Georgia Southern. Rice versus Texas. Rice is 0-2 and Texas is 1-1. Both lost to Arkansas. Man, that's going to be a barn burner.
The Southwest Conference is back.
Yeah, baby, we're back. We covered that. Iowa State at UNLV. How do you think Iowa State's going to win?
It's a cool stadium, though.
And Fresno State at UCLA. We talked about that as well. All right. Everyone, we got 2 more things for you. One of them is going to be very stupid, and one of them is going to be very funny. This is the funny one. On Sunday, there is a college football game. That college football game comes on at 12:30 a.m. Hawaii versus San Jose State. I guess it's playing in Hawaii. Comes on at 12:30 a.m. Ryan, are you devoted enough to stay up and watch that game?
No.
What time do you think it would go off?
Like
it started at 12:30, probably 4.
Yeah. Not worth it.
3:30?
It was a decent game. Like, if they were playing a decent team, who obviously playing a decent team.
Oh man, I might stay up. Hawaii versus I'm gonna host we're gonna have our first TNR party. And I'm gonna host it at 12:30. Anybody who wants to come over to watch Hawaii versus San Jose State, Ryan, you have to be there. So
I'm sleeping on the couch.
All right. One last bit of need for this is going a little longer than I planned it. Clay Helton fired at USC. Me and Ryan were talking about it. It's kind of breaking news. Kind of not. It's been a couple days probably since when you the audience will hear this. I think that more probably he was fired because USC should be better than what they are. And the real discussion is now, who do you think is going to replace him? Because I think that's a better focused discussion than just talking about why they fired him. They fired him because USC should be better than they are.
Yeah.
They should have fired him years ago. But Ryan, who do you think they should get to replace him?
Yeah, I think OJ Simpson.
Whoa! Whoa! I have to edit that out. Jeez. I'm just kidding. That's a good pick.
Who do you think they should pick?
He could lie to recruits. He's apparently good at that.
He's a sweet talker, you know?
Who do I think they should pick? I don't know. It could be a multitude of people. Are we being serious or are we goofing?
I mean, obviously that was a goof, but
goofing. I think they should get Pete Carroll back. Reggie Bush.
Reggie Bush, that's a good one. Matt Leinart. He would be good. He might actually would be good. I don't know. He'd be weird. That'd be an experiment. You would just pray. I don't know what you would think. He would bring in the recruits. I don't know how good of a coach he'd be, but I heard they're trying
he'd bring in the guys. James Franklin is the rumor mill I hear.
Yeah, I've heard James Franklin, Bob Stoops, and
Bob
then
Stoops said no today.
he said
That could be
no.
coach speak. I don't think he would go there. He enjoys. Why would you go back to that when you're him? You have your legacy. Everybody thinks you're a good coach. Don't go and screw it up. You
Yeah,
live on the beach. Go to the beach and drink Mai Tais every day. You don't need to do that. You don't need to. That's too much.
yeah.
You don't need to
I
do that
think
anymore. It's
that
over.
I know they were trying to get Kansas City's offensive coordinator. I can't remember his name off the top of my head,
Eric
but
Billamy,
yeah,
Billamy or something like
he's a
that.
former USC guy. I think he probably does big.
It depends on whatever they were. What it depends on what they go for. If they're going for pure footballness, they bring in that Eric Bellamy guy. If they're going for flash, I don't know. I think you bring in. I think Ryan doesn't like when I say it. Lincoln Riley. I was thinking Lincoln Riley or Lane Kiffin. Those are
Yeah,
my two dark horse candidates for the Trojans. I do think USC is a good program. I think they're just sleeping. Need somebody to wake them up.
I really
Because
do.
think about it, like Clemson has like 5 players from Southern California on their team alone. I don't know about anybody else. Probably everybody has some. First of all, you're in Southern California. There's a lot of football around there. You should have your top 25 picks. You should be able to say, I'm USC. You're coming here. That's the way it's going to go.
Should be,
But it's not like
but
that right now. So you got to find a guy. You should say, if you're USC, you shouldn't have to recruit them. They should beg to come there. You'd be king of the castle if you went to USC.
it's true.
You have all the women, the money, the drugs, whatever you want. Everything Hollywood had to offer, you'd have it. Ryan, any thoughts?
No.
Who do you think? Do you have a legit candidate in your mind? You think it's just James Franklin?
I mean,
Lane Kiffin, maybe? Mike
it's
Lynch?
probably hard to say because like
Sam Pittman?
the coaches that are on the market right now, they're not that sexy and they're not
Yeah, you
what
need
USC
somebody who's
wants.
attractive.
You need to
Literally
take
somebody
on.
who is sexually attractive.
Yeah.
You need somebody who's like, the
You
women
get
are gonna be like,
George Clooney.
oh, I saw that guy at God, that dude at Arizona, Cliff Kingsbury.
Oh, he was there. He
Oh,
was
as the
at
offensive coordinator, wasn't he?
for
And then
like
he
2
left.
weeks and he left. Yeah.
I would leave to be who would stay to be offensive coordinator when you have the head coaching job at Arizona? Lord. Urban Meyer, maybe.
He said no.
We'll see. His nose, you never know. He might have a heart attack and then go to USC. Who knows?
That's true.
All right, this is the end of the episode. I'm wrapping it up. Ryan, what kind of dumb thing do you want to do this at the end of this episode? We did the woo pig thing. Not that that's dumb or anything, but anything special you want to do, or do you just want to say bye?
I don't have anything done planned. I'll plan something.
Boomer Sooner.
If you want, I can plan something.
Man of integrity. Okay, I got it. I figured it out. I'm gonna yell game, or either or. You can yell game, how you cock. It doesn't matter. What do you want to do?
I want you to yell cock.
Okay, that's fine. All right, start me off. Sorry, we'll start us off.
All right. Game.
Cock. Game. You have to feel more like game. Like game. Are you ready?
All right, ready?
Yeah.
Game.
Cock.
There you go. Good.
All right, do it a couple times. We gotta do it a couple times.
Now why did you say it once?
Game. All right, whatever. Bye. Lame. Ryan's kicked off the show. This is the last episode. Hey, everybody. Thank you for watching the YouTube version of the TNR Sports Show. Make sure to like, subscribe, and tune in every Friday and Monday for a new episode of the TNR Sports Show. I really appreciate it. Make sure to check out our other videos from the preseason or anything of that nature. And make sure you just share with your friends. I would really appreciate that as well. But again, thank you for watching the TNR Sports Show, Monday or Friday edition.